This is a club you can join tonight from your phone for about $130 a year. This is a club that reportedly turned down $1 billion. Cash from a billionaire. Most people think a private members club is about money, a nice room, a good bar, a velvet rope, and a price tag that keeps the wrong people out. That's true for the first few levels. After that, it stops being true because the most exclusive clubs on earth can't be bought at any price. I'd know. I've signed a lot of people through a lot of doors. So today, I'm breaking down the 7 levels of private members clubs, from the ones anyone with a credit card can join, all the way up to the ones that don't have a door, a name, or a website at all. And somewhere on this ladder is the exact point where money stops working, where no amount of it gets you in, and the only thing that does is being the right person. Let's start at the bottom. Level 1, the membership in name-only club. This is the entry point, and it barely qualifies as a club at all. A level 1 membership is something you buy, not something you're granted. You go to a website, you enter a card number, and a few seconds later, you're a member. The most honest example is something like Soho Friends, the outer tier of the Soho House world, which costs around £100 a year and gets you discounts, event invites, and the right to book a room. There's no committee, no interview, no one is deciding whether you belong, because the only question being asked is whether your payment cleared. There's nothing wrong with a level 1 club. You get real perks and a card that feels nice in your wallet. You're not paying to get past a gate. You're paying for the feeling that there's a gate at all. Who actually joins one? The person who liked the idea of belonging to something, saw the price, and realized they could just have it. And that's the tell. Anything you can join in under a minute isn't really keeping anyone out. Everything above this level is built to do exactly that. Level 2, the application club. Now there's a gate, but it's a wide one. The defining example is Soho House itself, the club that taught the world what a modern members club looks like. To join, you don't just pay, you apply. You get nominated by 2 existing members, you submit a short biography of your career and your interests, and a committee reviews applications a few times a year. It costs somewhere around $3,000 a year for access to every house, and it is, on paper, selective. Kim Kardashian was reportedly turned down more than once for the process being too selective. But here's the scale that reframes everything. Soho House has somewhere around 270,000 members across more than 40 houses in 19 countries. At one point, it had to close applications in New York, London, and Los Angeles because the houses were too crowded, with nearly 100,000 people on the waitlist. In 2025, the whole thing was taken private in a deal worth around $2.5 billion. So a level 2 club is genuinely hard to get into, but hard the way a packed restaurant is hard because demand is enormous, not because the door is small. The exclusivity is real. It's just been turned into a brand, and a brand, by definition, wants to grow. The next level wants the opposite. Level 3, the new establishment club. At level 3, the club gets smaller on purpose. This is the world of the modern city dining and social club, places like Casa Cipriani, Zero Bond, and the Core Club in New York, or the 22 in London. Here, the joining fee climbs into the thousands, sometimes the tens of thousands, with annual dues on top. But the money is no longer the real filter. These clubs curate. They want a specific mix. Founders, artists, people who run things, people who are interesting to sit next to. You can be wealthy and still not be what they're looking for. This is the first level where the club is choosing you, not the other way around. Who gets in? The 38-year-old who just sold her company and wants a room full of people like her. The gallerist everyone in the city already knows. The point isn't the food or the cocktails, both of which you could get elsewhere for less. The point is, who's at the next table? A level 3 membership is a bet that the people in the room are worth more than the price of being in it. But notice what's happened on the way up. At level 1, money was the only thing that mattered. By level 3, money gets you considered, and then a group of strangers decides whether you fit. Keep climbing, and money stops being the question entirely. Level 4, the Heritage Club. This is where the rules change completely. The Heritage Clubs are the old ones, the St. James's Clubs of London, with White's at the very top. White's was founded in 1693 as a chocolate house, which makes it the oldest private members club in the world. Its members have included prime ministers, and today, King Charles and the Prince of Wales. And here's the thing that breaks most people's understanding of how clubs work. You cannot buy your way in. You can't apply online. You can't really apply at all. You have to be proposed by an existing member and seconded by others. And then your name sits in a book, sometimes for years, until you're put up for a vote. The members vote in secret, traditionally by dropping a white ball or a black ball into a box. A single black ball, one, can keep you out forever. That's where the word blackballed comes from. And the annual dues at a club like this are, by the standards of everything above level 2, almost modest. The barrier was never the money. A billionaire and the broke grandson of an earl walk up to the same ballot box, and the box doesn't care which is which. What's being protected here isn't a price point, it's a lineage, a continuous thread of people who've decided, one careful vote at a time, who gets to be one of them. And once you understand that, you understand the rest of the ladder, because from here up, the only currency that works is other people. Level 5. The invitation-only club. Level 5 looks, from the street, like nothing at all. The defining example is 5 Hertford Street, in Mayfair, often called London's most secretive club. There's a door, painted a quiet shade of maroon, with no sign on it. Inside is a warren of dining rooms and bars, and downstairs, a nightclub called Lulu's, with a stuffed giraffe in the corner. It was opened in 2012 by Robin Burley, a man who inherited an almost religious belief in keeping people out. Officially, you join by getting 2 members to write letters for you and sitting for an interview, and the annual fee is around £3,500. But that fee is almost a joke, a rounding error for the people inside. The real gate is the invitation, and the invitation comes from proximity. You're not paying with money, you're paying with your relationships, with the fact that 2 people Burley's World trusts are willing to vouch for you. Plenty of people who could buy the entire building have stood outside that maroon door and not been let in. Harry Styles, famously, was turned away. That's the whole design. A level 5 club's reputation is built less on who gets in than on who gets kept out. So the membership isn't a card, it's a kind of proof that you already move in the right circles, which raises an obvious problem. What about the circles so private they don't have a door for anyone to stand outside of? Level 6. The network. At level 6, the club stops being a place. There's no famous building, no maroon door, no dining room you can point to. There's just a list of people, and a set of conditions for being on it. The clearest example is a club called R360. To be considered, you need a net worth of at least $100 million. That's not the fee, that's the floor, just to be allowed to ask. The membership itself runs around $180,000 for 3 years, and getting in takes 2 existing members to refer you. A 25-page dossier about your life and your motivations, and a series of interviews. And even $100 million and a clean dossier isn't enough. The founder has said he turned away 2 actual billionaires because they didn't share the group's values. What do you get? Not a bar. You get a vetted circle of a few hundred people at your exact altitude, private retreats on islands like Necker, your own security service, investment deals you'd never otherwise see. The thing being sold at level 6 isn't a room, it's the other members. The club is just the mechanism that keeps everyone in it at the same height. And here the logic of the whole ladder shows itself plainly. The more exclusive a club gets, the less it's about a place, and the more it's about people. Push that to its end, and you reach the last level, where the club disappears entirely. Level 7. The club that isn't a club. At the very top, the physical world begins to fade. Take the Hurlingham Club in London as a transition. It has a 30-year waiting list and famously turned down a £1 billion cash offer just to protect its exclusivity. But the true, ultimate version of Level 7 has no premises at all. The Hurlingham Club gives you a glimpse of the mindset. It has a waiting list that reportedly runs around 30 years and is now closed unless you're the child of a member, and it's said to have turned down a £1 billion offer to buy it from one of the richest men in the world. Sit with that. $1 billion, cash, rejected. Because the entire point of the place is that it is not for sale. But even that is just the visible edge of Level 7. The real version has no premises at all. It's the standing relationships among a few hundred people on the planet. The family office circles, the private gatherings you only hear about from someone already inside, the dinners where the guest list is the entire institution. There's no door to be turned away from because there's no building, and no fee because money was never the question. Membership is simply being one of a tiny number of people known to the right other people. You don't join it. You're recognized as already part of it, or you spend your whole life never knowing it was there. At level 7, the club isn't somewhere you go, it's something you are. So, what is a private club actually selling? Here's the pattern now that you've seen the whole ladder. At level 1, you're buying perks. By level 3, you're buying the people in the room. By level 5, you're buying proof that you belong near power. And by level 7, the club isn't selling anything at all, because the one thing it's made of is the one thing money can't manufacture. Notice where the line falls. Somewhere around level 4, money quietly stops working. Below that line, a credit card and a clean application get you in. Above it, the only thing that opens the door is other people deciding you're one of them. That's the real secret of this world. The bar, the dining room, the giraffe in the basement, none of it is the product. The product is the room, who's in it and who never will be. A public club exists to let people in. A truly private club exists to keep almost everyone out, and to quietly assure the few inside that they're the few. So here's the question worth sitting with. At what level does a club stop being somewhere you go and start being something you are? Most of us will only ever see the first 2 or 3 levels, and honestly, a good room with good people in it is one of the finest things money can buy. It's just worth knowing that the higher you climb, the less the money matters, and the more it comes down to a quiet vote in a room you've never seen about whether you belong. That's the 7 levels of private members clubs, from the card you can buy tonight all the way up to the rooms that have no door. If you want more breakdowns like this, you know what to do. I'll see you in the next one.